let's introduce ourselves. We are your hosts, Monster Handler Tyson. Sorry, wait. What did I say?
You said Monster Handler Tyson.
Oh, sorry, that's wrong.
That's not right.
Monster Handler Matt.
Thank
Are you
you.
feeling okay?
Yeah, I've been feeling kind of weird since the end of October, honestly. I think I'm good to do the show. Sorry.
I hope so.
Let me focus up here. Sorry. Hi everyone. My name is Monster Handler Matt. That's M-A-T-T. Definitely not T-Y-S-O-N. Although,
Right.
okay. Sorry. Carry on. Carry on.
Anyway.
Please introduce yourselves.
Anyway, I'm Monster Handler Ben.
And Monster Handler Charlie.
And I know you guys
Yeah.
from work.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
Okay.
You're here at Big Blue Bubble. It's
Sorry,
2025.
I clearly have to focus up. I think I've got some soul calibration here
We need
that's
to-
not quite going on correctly.
We need to check for a concussion.
Well, that might be what's
Are you-
going on because we haven't done an episode of My Singing Monsters live since our last one of 2024 in November, and there have been lots of exciting things going on in both in the
That's
world
right.
That
of
is
My Singing
correct.
Monsters in the monster world and in the human world here. I kind of feel like I'm excited on behalf of two different people rather than just one about all the exciting things that are going on these days.
There's
I don't
just
know.
so much you can't contain
Right,
it within
yeah.
yourself.
That's a great way to describe it, Charlie. I'm just so full of love for My Singing Monsters that it feels like it's double the usual amount. All right. Anyway, we'll perhaps try and get to the bottom of that at some future date. But now, but then with the advent of these paranormals in, it's like, okay, well now there's this whole other track of things that we need to take care of as well. And there, of course, is the ongoing unresolved mystery of that thing that keeps being shown.
yeah, what?
We saw it at the end of the end of Anniversary Month. We saw it fleetingly again there during Festival of Yay. I'm so curious about what that could possibly entail.
I wonder what it could be.
What it could possibly be? What could it be? I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, I did want to mention about the paranormals that I think is very interesting and unusual is as well here, dear viewer, and us here, where we are the good guys in terms of monster research and science and the fields of monstrology, and we're trying to be respectful and understand more about the monster world. But then on the flip side, there's sort of this other nefarious. Are they nefarious? They kind of seem more bumbling than anything else.
I would say
Little bit.
bumbling.
This organization, DOMA, right?
Yes.
The Department of Monstrous Anomalies. And one of the things that I think is sort of unique and unusual is that through their ongoing investigations, which, by the way, are nowhere close to the quality of investigations you can expect from us, the official monster handlers.
That's right, because we have a close personal relationship with the monsters.
And you know what? It's respectful.
We observe, and we do not interact.
And we treat them as equal, whereas DOMA sort of, they're all about, they're sort of viewing them as a science experiment, or some sort of threat, an incursion into our world.
Their methods seem a little stuck in the past.
I agree. They could
little
probably
analog.
benefit. Yes, they could probably benefit from joining us here in the 21st century. But the thing I wanted to mention is that some of their recent research and methods seem to sort of match or connect in a way to the appearance of that very first paranormal that we discovered on Psychic Island, Harriet.
Right.
So I'm just sort of curious because up until now, like you said, Charlie, we've tried not to interfere and we've tried to be respectful and keep the monster world at a respectful distance so that it can go along and we don't
flourish.
Exactly, we don't directly influence it. But I do have some concerns that perhaps DOMA's ongoing efforts are in some way affecting the fragile peace that exists between these dimensions. You know, there's a reason why they're over there and we're over here.
Right.
When things cross over or when things, possess each other. Did you say something?
You were talking.
You were,
Okay.
I
I could have sworn I heard a familiar voice. Maybe it was in my head. I don't know. But anyway,
Do we need to call an ambulance?
when that sort of happens, it's possible that DOMA's activities are in some way affecting what's going on in the monster world. So I think that we're probably going to have to up our game in 2025 and keep a closer watch on what it is that they're doing over there because I think it has the potential to disrupt. I want to make sure. You know,
They are missing with the fabric of the monster.
yeah,
I
being,
think.
right? Yeah, yeah, and everything to do with it. So I think we, you know, up until now we've been very happy to just sort of sit back, relax, let them do their things. We don't agree with their methods, but you know, far be it from us to criticize. If you want to do it a different way, that's fine. But I think we do need to devote a little bit more monster handler power this year to making sure that they sort of stay in their lane and that they don't disrupt things.
That's right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Now, of course, if those disruptions in any way result in the appearance of paranormals, we'll have to double check that too, because of course we'd like to see more paranormals, right?
It would be pretty cool to see some
the
more.
arrival of
And
the
we got-
major and minor forms were
We got
very exciting.
both Harriet Major and Harriet Minor, very different,
Yes,
very cool.
very same and yet unique. You know, again, the idea of like two different forms residing inside of one physical body is such a strange concept to me. I can't imagine what that would be like if you were a human being and you had that happen to you. So I think that's very interesting. Two eyes at this juvenile stage. There are more to come when it eventually grows up. But
Oh,
thing.
you good? You're having lots
What?
of issues today. Oh my goodness! What is that?
A tangible thing. The last time
my.
y'all saw this, it was just on a piece of
of
paper.
paper.
Yeah.
But now, here it is, the real deal.
real.
Here is a sneak peek of our upcoming Bazinga plush. With our
That
friends
is
at
so
Makeship.
cool. That
It's awesome. It's cute. It's great. You know what?
Look at the detail on it.
Yeah, right. Go play with that. Check that out. It's very cute. It's got
It's
these
alive.
beautifully patterned golden wings, a nice plump rump, and these different pincers. I don't know what you want to call them here at the front, and of course it's eyes on stalks and it's antennae.
The detail is crazy.
soft
It is
and
really
cute
detailed,
and
yeah.
adorable, and of course, who can say no to Bazinga? Whoop! It's over. You play with that and take care of that, Monster Handler Charlie. But yeah, we wanted to show it to you. Obviously, you can sort of see the sense of the scale and the fact that it can perform dances if you manipulate it to do that. You can do anything. So there you go. It's very cute. Monster Handler David, what's the timeline on that? Later this year, later in 2025 is when orders for Makeship Bazinga will become available. It's, you know, I've liked all of our Makeship plush. I have multiples of all of them, but this one I think really feels sort of like a crowning achievement. I think that they've done an excellent
It's definitely
job
unique.
here
Yeah.
with Bazinga. It's so cute. It's so cute. All right. Well, that's what was sort of scratching an itch back there. I thought perhaps
Well, don't put 'em back there.
It's sort of, well, yeah. You know what? I want to keep him out.
Yeah.
I want to keep it out here just to be displayed for the rest of the program. But yeah, you know, at first I had that sort of itching sensation, and I thought maybe it was like something coming from within, and I was relieved to see that that wasn't the case, and that in fact
Okay.
it was just this Bazinga Makeship.
So you're good.
plush.
Yeah, everything is
everything's fine.
I'm totally normal now. Yeah, I think we can carry on into this water from the living ocean. Just
Should you?
just to
Sure,
calm down.
maybe that's part of the
You know
problem.
what? I find that with the issues that I've been experiencing recently of sort of having this sense of crowdedness in my brain, that the waters of the living ocean actually have helped to sort of suppress that, keep them at bay.
Okay.
My teeth
you
all feel
might-
kind of wiggly.
Oh,
But
That's not good
But,
for you.
but you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe I should hold off. I don't want to turn into a dependency. So, you know
Anyway.
what? I'll set that aside. This living ocean water, and perhaps moving forward, I'll just try and go with nice, good old-fashioned
Regular
Regular water,
from,
yeah.
from the human world.
we saw
All right.
what happened to Spur It.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And that's a dependency,
Consumption
it might be.
of living ocean water does tend to have that effect. In fact, we're very infrequently any sort of major water events in the monster world. Again, perhaps it has something to do with the consistency of the water being different than we're expecting because it's monster world water, living ocean water, as opposed to human world water. But like, you know, even when Starhenge crashed into what would later become Celestial Island, you know, yeah, no aftershock, no waves, pretty unremarkable in terms of that how that went down. So we know that the waters of the living ocean are sort of mutagenic. These are just little puppies.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so that's what
It's
you're looking
them.
at.
I was trying to
It's
see the
just my-
microbes
It's just
in
my
the
cup. It
boat
almost looks like
in
there's
the
nothing
water.
there when I hold it here. Whoa, because it's a see-through cup. That's how cups work if they're see-through.
Very good.
But there's these sort of unconfirmed mutagenic properties to the living ocean water. And we think that maybe that has something to do with the microbes. If you recall from the Purple Explore video a couple of years ago when we were doing the search for squid, we had
yes.
Spirit looking
Classic.
through the microscope
Oh,
yes,
yes.
of
at
course.
that little,
So that,
at the
like-
waters of the living ocean, and we saw the little sort of
like that basically
M-shaped
confirms it.
flagellum
So I guess,
thing
yeah,
float by.
basically
So
confirms
they're
it.
definitely there, and that they may be a leading contributor to why it's so different than the water that we're used to.
Do monsters have gender?
Ah,
Oh.
yes, the oft questioned question: do monsters have gender? I know that this is a question we get pretty much every year, asking about My Singing Monsters. I'd like to preface the answer here by saying that our mission statement at Big Blue Bubble is inspiring worlds of creativity. So when we say things, you know, they're sort of our official take on it from the monster handler work that we do here at Big Blue Bubble.
Right.
But the beauty of the game, I think, is the fact that you can sort of make it be whatever you need or want it to be in your own offshoot creations, or how your creativity is inspired by what it is that we're making. So, I mean, the idea of gender as a construct, if we want to get into to gender studies here, is one that like doesn't have an exact match in the monster world. It doesn't figure as much into their identity. They sort of deal with each other in terms of like what instrument they play,
Right.
or what their personalities are. But of course, we've seen lots of very awesome creative fan fiction and offshoots of My Singing Monsters where, you know, there are you know, he or she pronouns being used, or they, them, or anything like that. I remember when we were doing My Singing Monsters Fandemonium a couple of years ago, and we were working with the company that was creating that show with us, and we were saying it's going to be sort of hard to identify, you know, the three hosts here without
Right.
making use of these pronouns.
Especially with voice actors and voice
Exactly.
actresses.
And of course, there are lots of sort of context clues among our cast of monster characters that could suggest that monsters like have an assigned gender. Honestly, it's one of those things where like officially it doesn't have a perfect exact match in the monster world, but like for the purposes of, you know, your handler helper creations,
Do what you want.
we say the more the merrier, go nuts.
It's kind of like playing with toys, right? Like I got all my little Lego figures, and
Right.
you know,
There can be like official personalities for them, and they can be assigned a certain way, or you can make them however you want
Yeah,
them to be.
exactly.
So it's like, are they a perfect like match for how we understand gender in the human world? No, but you know, if you've watched enough episodes of My Singing Monsters Live, you'll remember a common answer of mine is like, it's hard to perfectly compare it to a human world thing because
they're
the monster
monsters.
world is distinct. It's doing its own thing. It's got a whole different set of qualifiers and criteria for how we organize that world. So I say not in the traditional sense, but honestly, you know, it's something that's subject to interpretation, and I say it's whatever floats your boat.
Right.
Honestly. So that's the way I like to look at it, and again, leaving it up to the individual as they want to interpret the characters is totally fine with us.
yeah, that sounds perfectly reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Whatever
You do you.
As long as as long as the, you know, the foundational tenets of like cooperation, harmony, you know, problem solving through collaboration. I mean,
Right.
that's sort of what music is all about, right?
Yeah.
Like all these different pieces come
Teamwork.
together and you figure it out together and you solve problems. And so as long as those sorts of values are upheld, you can do whatever you want. That's what I say.
Mr. Abomination, sir.
I like the politeness.
Are there more urban legends or cryptids in the monster world, like how Nerve was originally a folk story?
Ah, yeah, a great question from Mr. Abomination, sir. Are there more urban legends? You know, paranormals are sort of the cryptids
Oh, okay.
of the monster world, in the sense that, like, no one could sort of like confirm that they existed. They're like this sort of sense of the
Quantum,
other. No one really knows where they came from.
Even the
Obviously-
monsters.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, when Harry and Annette sort of like appeared on the Psychic Islands, you know, there was all of that sort of geocosmic weather weirdness going on, and that was very unusual, right?
No
because
one-
you had like a storm happening in space, ostensibly,
Yes.
in the skyscape, the starscape of Psychic
Messing
Island.
with the fabric of reality.
Yeah, and there was like all these, you know, geometric forms appearing, and those
It was
geometric forms kind of seemed
strange.
familiar, but new in a strange way. I don't know. There's
But
something
and it was
going on
definitely a
there.
shock to the monsters on Psychic Island.
Certainly.
None of the monsters could confirm or deny that it existed until some meddling.
Exactly,
happened.
and so I think in terms of these cryptids or urban legends, I think that's sort of what these paranormals are. Because like if you think of the root word that sort of inspired the classification paranormal, it's like, you know, beside what is expected or beside what is known or empirically provable. If something's paranormal, it's like to the side of, or, you know, connected to, roundabout way, normal.
Right.
And so when I think of cryptids or urban legends, that's sort of what I think of in terms of paranormal. So I'd say that that's sort of an example. And then in the example provided by Mr. Abomination with Nerve, remember that, like, because Bazinga is here, I'll do a visual
Another great
demonstration here.
segue.
Because Bazinga is a dimensional traveler, it can access the same hypersonic freeways that members of the drone sect can, like Humbug. When it opens these dimensional pathways, it's able to explore other dimensions of the Stablo Miehuricha, the world tree of the Big Blue Bubble multiverse. And it was in one of those worlds that it heard the legend of Nerve in the first place. It went by a different name at that time. But yeah, so Nerve is like an urban legend that almost comes to it from like a whole other realm.
Right.
It's
Ooh,
it's like a figure that was originating somewhere and that now is depicted in the monster world through the power of Dreamcraft. So good on you, Bazinga. But yes, so I would say that the paranormals are urban legend cryptid equivalents in the monster world. I'd have these thoughts and I just have to sort of express them, or else they would just like crowd my head and I'd feel hey
Anyway.
hey
Why is he doing that?
sorry, carry on.
Anyway,
I got this, this voice in my head. Oh, Galvana, I don't know what's going on. All right, carry on.
Ultimate creator Eric.
Oh, hi, Eric.
What made the Stair Shaper decide to throw rocks at the Titans, referring to the moment where they took the remnants of the Outer Islands and formed them into meteors? Was it preservation of the Outer Islands or the Mirror Timeline's Titans? Did it think it would look cool? Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to
Yes.
make sure that we sort of characterize the action here in a non-violent way. Stair Shaper wasn't like, yeah,
No.
and threw it at the existing Titans, because of course remember that the Titans, no matter what timeline they exist in, are all sort of the disciples of Stair Shaper. They're sort of its don't want to call them children, students, if you will.
Okay.
They are schooled in the ways of the Stair Shaper, and so I think it was one of those things where, in order to achieve the combinative effects of the Mirror Magical Islands, a certain amount of force was required, and so it wasn't like a violent act. It was more of like how you have to speed up particles in like the Large Hadron Collider, you know, really fast in order to
That Galvana
observe.
particle.
Yeah, the Galvana particle. Yes, ooh, we'll have to do some more research about that. I love that. But yes, maybe it has something to do with sped up Galvana particles in the monster world that it needed to happen at a certain speed for it to happen. So it wasn't a violent act. It was that's just how the chemistry and physics of the union had to take place.
Right.
But it would look cool, and it does.
Yeah, it does.
So Stair
totally looks cool.
Stair Shaper is not above, adding an aesthetic flair to things. But the Titans were also like, they weren't like against the idea in the Mirror timeline. They were like, yeah, bring it on. It sounds cool.
That's right.
Because I know some folks
more the
were
merrier,
concerned
yeah.
and freaked out about Mirror Light Island specifically, and the glove pole's essence sort of seeping through. And it's like, everyone's fine.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about it. It's all good.
I do like the
Everyone's
idea.
safe.
I do like the idea of Stair Shaper just like adjusting and going, yeah.
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 gotta match the feng shui, the feng pray, if you will.
Oh,
A Iron Crown 0. What are shards? I mean, really, what are they? Where did they come from? Why are they a currency? Why does the Nexus nucleus of all things produce it?
Some great questions. So, what are shards? To the best of our knowledge, shards are the prototype currency of the monster world. As we know, shards originated in the pocket dimension of the monster world, which was like the creative sandbox that the Colossals were using before they felt comfortable and confident enough to actually execute on their vision and bring stuff to the main reality and create the continent and all the other elements of the monster world a little bit later. So the reason that they're shards is that I have to assume that they were like broken off of a whole of something, and that's whole with an H.
A big shard somewhere?
So they're like they're broken off pieces of something. I don't know what that is. Obviously, we have lots of other sort of crystalline things happening in the monster world. We know that relics are sort of the hardened amber sap of the world tree that contain musical inspiration. So part of me wonders if it's like experimentation with that same sap, turning it from its sort of natural state, the orangey amber resin kind of thing going on, into something like touched with Colossals.
it's like how is a
formula
diamond
energy.
made or copper?
Yeah, I don't
or
really know.
silver
Or is it it could be as something. It could be as mysterious as something like a comet passing through the cosmos that the Colossals gathered up and went, hey, we could use this. And then they just
Waste not.
Yanked it out of space. That's ours.
I'm sorry, boys, I have to take living ocean water.
That's
Don't
okay.
worry.
That's all right.
But, the Colossals are not above making use of tools and resources that sort of happen into their possession by chance.
Very
So
good.
maybe that is, and why does it exist on the Nexus nucleus, or in this part of the Nexus nucleus when the Nexus nucleus is on Magical Nexus, which is in the Beyond? No idea. No idea. It may have something to do with the association that magical monsters have gained over time because of their presence on Magical Sanctum in the pocket dimension. Too early to say. Lots of stuff to still understand and learn about Magical Nexus.
We need a wall of corkboard, some yarn.
and lots of late nights staring anxiously at connections that we've forged.
Okay,
Absolutely.
this comes from.
Oh.
You
Nice.
could say that's you right now. I think.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I've never felt better.
All right, moving on. No.
Do the dipsters digging in the ground hurt the island Colossal?
Like brain itch or anything about what's going on there.
Monster
So
Handler Matt, listen. Are you okay?
I felt better when you referred to me mistakenly as Monster Handler Tyson. I don't know what that's
That's
about.
strange.
That is
Anyways.
very unusual. All right, carry on. Yeah, we'll ignore it for now. Sorry, carry on. Yep.
Anyway.
What's next? Yep.
Where do the paranormals come from? We saw Harry and Annette descend from the sky, and everyone just accepted it. I
Yes,
think
they did.
We've touched upon this already.
We have touched upon this, and where they come from, I don't know. They don't seem to be,
Nefarious.
yes, and they don't seem to be a creation of anyone that we know of right now. You know what I mean? Like in the same way that we've since learned that magicals are sort of the handiwork of Stair Shaper, drawing from the elements of the monster world. and we know that obviously, like, you know, the fire and natural monsters are the creations of the colossal. Same thing with the mythicals. But paranormals, it's a total mystery for right now where they come from. Like we said earlier, we were even surprised to see them. We just figured, okay, let's just keep the Titan Souls going. But
Yeah, all the stuff that happened like in the sky when it first appeared seemed totally foreign.
yes,
Yeah.
it
monster
seemed
world.
like it was an incursion of some form. Not an angry or aggressive one, but definitely the other, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely unexpected. It's definitely not from these parts kind of situation.
So
I feel like maybe some of my brain activity is transferred over to you here. Maybe I'm finally getting that sweet release I've been dreaming
Are you
of.
feeling clear-minded yet?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better. Not totally there, but better every day. When we were going to classify all those upgrades, we just wanted it to sound increasingly cool.
I'm gonna try and say that fast.
So a thought that I had in my head, I sort of feel like all these events are happening in tandem with each other, so weird stuff going on. But something I am excited to see, regardless of the weather in my head, is let's take a look and check them out.
Ooh.
Wow! I am. If I can briefly comment here from a behind-the-scenes standpoint, it was really a fun challenge for us to try and come up with the aesthetic for Harry-Annette so that it felt like it belonged on Psychic Island, but also like didn't really look like anything that had come before. And so it was really, really a challenge that the Monster Handler artists met head on and absolutely nailed it. We wanted to make sure that, you know, just like Ghast being the first of the Ethereals was like a really awesome, major, important moment and like a really representative entry into that class. I think Harry-Annette also does an excellent job of that as like being the introductory paranormal. I think they outdid themselves on this one. Very cool.
I also think that in terms of, everybody always asks me what I think is the scariest monster, and I think it has to go with Harry-Annette Minor.
Yes, yeah.
But I think that's cool.
Absolutely, and you know, that sort of, you know, major evoking happiness, minor evoking, you know, fear or uncertainty is definitely in line with everything that paranormals are all about. So, you know, when we first introduced Bazinga, people seemed to take to it right away, and I got to say, I was nervous about it because it was the second of our Make a Mythical monsters, and people really liked Strombonen so much. I was like, can lightning strike twice here? Is it possible that we'll be able to recreate that and like create another mythical that had design contributions from the community that's as beloved? And the answer was evidently yes. Right now is a new promotion that is aligned with mythical availabilities in Dawn of Fire. We've got 33% off Strombonen in there. I know several of you have been wondering, when the heck is Crescendo Moon coming? And I saw many comments saying, don't worry, we'll know for sure when the promotion is available, where typically, you know, something new that's coming is teased. And you may notice, well, such an interstitial, such an announcement, such a sale does not exist. And we'll remind you all why. Magical Sanctum, the island on which Crescendo Moon is celebrated, is free. How do we put a sale on something that is free?
That's
it's
true.
very hard. So, in lieu of that, and because Crescendo Moon is lined up this year when it is, we wanted to give you all the heads up that yes, in fact, Crescendo Moon is beginning next week. So get ready, get prepared, get excited for that. So,
Gonna get me my epic. Whoa, I'm just...
Carolong?
Carolong, thank you very much.
Yes. Yes. So would it be your first? Your first epic
I
Carolong?
have not gotten an epic Carolong, but I do have a rare and a common for both Seasonal Island and...
Okay, good. So really, this Crescendo Moon will be your opportunity to go looking for that epic Carolong for the first time, just like many of our handler helpers, I'm sure. So just wanted to calm everybody down and say, don't worry, we haven't forgotten about it, but that it's coming next week, because last year we did have a sale in-game. It was an almost in-season for Carolong, but that was just because Carolong is part of the inventory of Hornicle on Celestial Island. and therefore its availability was not going to be any time in January, so we had to do an almost in season sale, and that's how you were able to see it. But this year, where the Lunar New Year falls in the human world is nice and snug there for the majority inside of January. So you should be good to keep a closer eye on Doma's activities this year and see what sort of...
Behave, Doma,
yes,
behave.
very, yes.
I've got my eye
we
on
want to make sure
you.
that its influence remains in check, because we're committed first and foremost to the preservation and autonomy and actualization of the monster world. We want to sort of let it do its own thing without too much interference, but we have to sort of learn more about that over the course of the year as well. So that's very
See
exciting.
what they're up to.
And of course, we have that ongoing. Here, let's touch like Meebkin and Bemibeth.
It's beautiful.
Oh, can't.
I, for one,
Almost.
think that
You can't-
it's a conspiracy and doesn't exist.
At all? But haven't you seen the signs,
I have
Charlie?
seen the signs.
It's very unusual.
I'm just scared.
Perhaps some answers will come through soon, because I know part of that cryptic message, for those of you who are fluent in the monstrous alphabet, at the end of our Festival of Yay Short at the end of 2024, saw those glyphs and spelled out 2025. So that being
What could
2025?
the year of the current era that we are in, I do hope that at some point this year we get some answers about what's going on.
We'll see.
Because you know me, it's my thirst for knowledge. It's my desire to learn more and to appreciate everything that there is about the monster world. Or my name is in Monster Handler Tyson.
Matt
What did I say?
Tyson.
Tyson. Tyson?
Tyson.
Tyson. Guys, let me out! Let me out! I've been in here for too long. You don't know anything of what it's like.
Call the authorities. No. Or
Monster Heller Matt, are you okay?
you
Do you,
need,
did you
Have we started the show yet?
You've been here for
Monster,
like an
and
hour.
welcome to
Yeah,
another
happy-
episode of My Singing Monsters Live, your
Oh.
one-stop shop for everything to do with My Singing Monsters. We are your hosts, Monster Handler Matt.
Yes.
You know what? Maybe
Yes.
it's time. Maybe this is as good a time
Can we
as
get some
any
help in here?
to sort of
You feel
end
like-
the show and sort of figure out what's going on with me. But thank you so much for joining us today on My Singing Monsters Live, and we'll see you again probably very soon.
Very soon.
very soon?
Okay.
can count
Until
on it.
next time,
Happy monstering!